What's going on, YouTube? Earth Power here with Xboom at Duel Masters Talk. Welcome back to the booth, my friend.
Hey. Oh, well, I'm happy to be back.
We are hopping into the very first game of the top 16 of Season 3 of the bracket tournament, trying to find the best deck using the Finnish meta to some degree. I have no idea if we're even up to date with this thing anymore at the posting of this season at the moment. But
It is.
oh, fantastic, good. I was
Mm.
always worried about that.
Mhm.
I do not follow that as well as I should. Little peek behind the curtains there. But yeah, without further ado, we're gonna hop into the match, and I will let. Oh goodness, I say that. All right, we're live, and we're transitioning.
Okay.
Look at us shuffle at 1.5 times speed. So, as you guys can see, we are getting ready to play the match of the winner of Season 2, Water, Fire, Nature, Tempo. The list that we just spoke about a few days ago. So, definitely go back and check it. The link may or may not be down below. We'll figure that out later. Yeah, the 5 Civ amalgamation control that we put together because we just wanted to see if we could make it work. Had no intentions of it making it through the play-in. Absolutely dominated its play-in leg, and now it's paired up against Water, Fire, Nature, what should seemingly be its worst matchup. X-Boom, what are your thoughts?
I think the bottom graphics are wrong, or are they?
Are they? Oh goodness, they probably are. They sure are. Look at that.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of those. But yeah, Water, Fire,
Yeah.
Nature, Tempo. Let me. Good call, friend. Virtual. Here, let me change that while you do that. But I'll let you talk while I change the graphic.
Yeah, the sleeves are looking nice on the left side. Uh, they're okay on the right side.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Basic blue. Had to continue the Earth Stomp sleeve train. It seemed like it did some wonders for me in season two, letting this deck take its rightful after getting absolutely blown out in season one because I built it like an idiot. Um, yeah, winning season
Stump
two
lost.
felt right. Yeah,
Stump lost the dice roll, so
it
that's
it
that's
did.
not good for it.
All right, let me fix this graphic really quick. 5, 6,
We see two
draw.
similar decks, both playing rebirths, so they has to be the same.
We got CVH on 5 Civ Control, and we actually have me piloting Water, Fire, Nature, Tempo. Alright, and we're good to go. But yeah,
There's
no,
already a tough choice on 2 drops because 5 Civ has to think about the mana charges a lot.
yeah, that was the whole thing. Yeah, going into this match, and I gotta be honest, the reason, and I mean, I knew I was gonna pilot Water, Fire, Nature anyways, but going into this match, I like you want to talk about how our top 16 is kind of slated at the moment. I really did feel like this deck was just set up to go on a rampage through the bracket that we added it to. Um, and yeah, it was CVH and I were talking about like why didn't I just swing there? I think I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
playing Bronze Arm
I
Tribe.
was
Yeah,
very confused. Like,
yeah. So
Gonta, go face.
just getting ahead of myself with this deck already, and it's like, yeah, I'm winning on board. We're good. And CVH is like, I think you're supposed to attack there. And you're like, you're absolutely right, I am. But CVH did find his consistency in the Bronze Arm Tribe and the Sky Swords, so
Yeah,
perhaps the
that's a
best
very
opening that 5 Civ could have
yeah,
against
that's
this
the
deck.
best that deck can do. So very good.
So,
Also, it charged the Sky Sword into the mana, so if there was a swap from Shield, it could have swapped into a Sky Sword immediately. But
yep.
that didn't happen.
So, my goal is just to outright beat him on board. Obviously, Bronze Arm Tribe is a tough swing here. He does hit the Soulswap and shields,
Mm.
which is unfortunate. But I knew I probably wasn't going to be attacking with the Bronze Arm Tribe this turn. Um, so,
I think it should be probably swapping into 4 bows and finding mass remove.
right. I think all of his civs are unlocked. He ends up actually swapping out my Pyrofighter.
Okay, that probably means mass remove already is in hand.
Yeah, if he's got APOC, basically APOC is going to absolutely obliterate my board, and that's where I'm just like, well,
Yep.
Searing Wave could be good here too, which is why I just kind of go for the swing. Once he swaps out Emerald, it kind of feigns that he's got the removal already. So Bronze Arm Tribe just to take a shield while it can before it eventually gets
Yeah, the swing
removed.
is very correct
Yeah.
because that swap signaled that the mass remove was already in hand. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, so
Okay.
this is fun. That's a
So
Bombazar. Fun
yeah,
fact:
that no.
it's actually, and I guess I would say we should edit a graphic here. Yeah, we have the dice to do
Mm,
this. When CVH and I got together, I realized I didn't have a single Bombat on my person at all. And
a
as you,
shame.
yeah, absolutely a shame for whatever reason, just wasn't carrying those with me the day I drove up to CVH's to get all of these top 16 matches recorded. So that Bombasar is actually a Bombat. We just needed a 5 drop, and so you notice the 3 there because it's 3K. Just ignore the image. If you guys can read it, good for you.
Secretly playing aggro mana burn.
Yeah, so it was funny because in the moment I was like, "Is this card just better than Bombat right now? Do we just run the Bombazar?" And the answer is,
No, it
yeah,
definitely is not.
answer is very much no. Yeah, so Bombat takes a shield there, puts
Mm,
CVH. I mean, he's got a ton of cards in hand. I'd be very surprised if he couldn't answer um, the 3K. But if he can't, I think I'm set up in a good way to potentially take victory. Jagalzar off the top minus a mana brick, another pyro fighter that uses all. There's a lot of answers to winning next turn. 2 drop creature and
yeah,
swap
I
depending on what I have in hand.
I think this already looks kind of favored for CB8 though,
Yeah,
because like he has so many cards in hand, he has to have a answer.
yeah. He's.
Uh, I think
I
a lucky ball would be very like that would like put the pressure on. But
yeah. We're at
sorry,
1.5 times
rebirth.
speed. Yeah, CVH is consulting his deck list to see kind of
Mm,
what the options are here. Um, because it looks like he has a meltdown in hand. If I'm
mm.
seeing his hand correctly, I think it's like the third from the middle card up there in the corner. I wonder if he's thinking that that's just his out this turn. Bronze Arm Tribe's in hand as well, but he's not revealing much.
Did
So,
he have a? I think I saw volcanic, so he could like volcanic and then melt down.
yeah,
But
yeah, it looks like
there wasn't 2 fire mana, so that wasn't
yeah,
possible.
Clamp. Belix is not bad. Belix
Yep.
handles the Bombat minus any sort of removal I can top, which would be great. I feel like Unicorn Fish off the top would be an absolute rip. Um, Me not having a hand does cut off any of my 6 drop cards, so there's quite a bit I can break with next
Mm.
turn. And looks like he's getting back Rebirth. So Rebirth pretty good, especially if
Yeah.
Bombat can't make it through this turn. If his last Sky Sword's in the deck, then he should be good. Oh, and
Okay,
speak of the
lucky ball
devil,
was the best draw.
yeah, he absolutely called that
And
one.
there's only one in deck, right?
There's only one in deck. Absolute monster top deck there. Yeah, swinging with Bombat. Felix trades. He keeps the shield, which seems correct. So, and
Interesting because he
I,
took back the rebirth, so he could have kept the 5 drop target. But
I
I
feel,
guess he feels like
yeah.
the 4 drop target is good enough.
I guess the shield's probably more valuable in that sense, right? Because like if he lets me swing through with Bombat, I guess he still has the blocker. He ends up essentially in the same position this next turn if Rebirth is
Yeah,
his
and
whole
he
turn and
could
he
have
gets Sky Sword.
found Sky Sword, but there's already 2 Sky Swords showing. So
Yeah,
if the Sky Sword is the last shield, then it would be. But he would have it in hand then, so it wouldn't matter. So
right.
I feel like both options were fine there.
Yeah. So yeah, foul to get back Soul swaps in Sky Sword.
Mm.
Um, Mana's down Baza, which is love to see that. It's one card I don't necessarily have to worry about at the moment.
He can still get it on the field with swap. So
Yeah. 2 and 3 is Pig and Pyro. Pretty good, pretty good answer
pretty
to
good.
this board at the moment. Foul will get to take the favorable with Lucky Ball and minus another Soul Swap and or blocker. He's got to deal with my hand this turn. He's got to deal with my
Yeah,
hand.
this
He's got to
is
deal with Pig.
that's at least like a saving grace for tempo right now because there's hand and field, so it's very hard to deal with both. Uh,
Yeah.
but the field only leaves 1 creature
If he
because Val can
does,
clear the lucky ball.
if he does, technically presenting lethal. So And I think I
Mm.
saw it earlier. I'm very positive that's gonna have that might end up being the option here if he does indeed have it in hand, which I think he does if that card is
Yeah, I
what I
feel
think it
Meltdown
is.
is very safe here
Yeah,
because there would be need to be a
three.
lot of triggers.
Yeah, he's already seen one surfer. I saw my hand last turn. It was I had a surfer in hand, so
Yeah.
that
He
means
wouldn't know that though,
he
so
right he wouldn't. So, and I think that's what the discussion on field is right now. The live discussion is me and him talking about like what my triggers are, because basically it's if he has meltdown, that's his answer. Otherwise, there's no real way to answer my board. I don't think with the mana he has. Um, Rebirth isn't enough. He would still need to deal with hand. Um, we're gonna see.
yeah, with 3 attackers, the Meltdown feels very safe because there would be
Uh,
need to be 3 triggers.
okay,
So,
he's
but
going for
okay,
rebirth.
rebirth. I guess is there Belix?
Yeah, there should be either that or Skeeto maybe. Second Belix. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 3 for see something else here in just a second. Oh, Soul Swap in for
Okay.
Skysword. Okay, so he had the
More
other
sky
Soul
swap.
Swap. Yeah. So deals with yeah, that's a seems like a much better answer than the meltdown right now. Doesn't need to lean on it quite yet. Um,
Mm.
so Pyro Surfer Soul Swap looks to be my hand right now. I end up holding the swap. Why would I
Mm.
do that? Yeah, I guess I mean surfering back the Belix is kind of meh. Surfering back any of those cards is kind of meh. I can see why I wouldn't necessarily, or otherwise just play it as a creature, but I'm not really progressing the board if I do
Yeah,
that.
keeping the swap is feel like it's a lost cause anyway. Like it feels like already a lost game. But
Yeah,
I think swapping the Belix for a battle or something that theoretically would win you the game next turn
yeah, that
would
makes
be
sense. Yeah,
better. But there was the loco, of course.
yeah.
Now
Good.
now there's really nothing. Like
Yeah, yeah. Surf.
yeah, that doesn't feel good.
No, not at all. Not at all. Fortunately, I don't have a hand though, so I can keep him off of Loco for a turn. Just gonna rebirth it now, hoping that yeah, there's the other Forbos
Yeah.
playing multiple Forbos in the 5 Civ deck. How did we find room for all of these cards? Every time I see 5 Civ control start going off like this, which somehow continues to keep doing, I'm blown away at like how we got all of these cards to fit and why they keep working in the correct order. So
I think this game was very lucky for the 5 save though, because there
yeah,
was the bat into the sky sword into a swap in shield like very early, and there's only 2 swaps, and it was very like lots of things happening. And yeah, then there was the APOC also. And how many APOC is the 5 save running?
I think just the one.
Yeah, that that feels like you just got sacked. So
Yeah,
GG, go next.
that was tough. Yeah, ended up topping rebirth there, so
So
that feels pretty
yeah.
good. Um, there was high consideration to just rebirthing the Belix and hitting a 2, because I feel like that would have accomplished the same thing, and I think looking back, that should have been the play. Um,
Mm,
but
I mean, is there? Yeah, there's only one spell in. Like you would go back to 1 mana if the
yeah.
stomp even gets to attack, which I doubt it will. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. So yeah, he ended up four bosing for the spiral gate, so I knew he had it.
All right.
So we're gonna see if I get 3 shields. It needs to be Surfer, the last Surfer, and 2 spiral gates.
Uh, why would you bounce the 4? I think there you need to bounce the Belix because then the Surfer would win you the game. But oh right,
Well,
the Surfer can bounce
well,
anyway. Yeah.
yeah, he had 3 attackers.
Yeah.
I had to bounce the attackers, Expo.
All right.
I was
All right.
I was going to
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I was already thinking of we are winning this. We have 4 triggers, of course.
yeah, we were close. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, heck of an opening from Water Fire Nature. Unfortunately, momentum just absolutely died in a handful of very good turns by CVH there. Just having literally the enough stuff. I think and again, that's what the deck wants to do, right? That's the reason we're playing
mm,
the 4-up Bronze Arm Tribe, multiple Sky Swords. It's because those are the cards you want to see consistently. And while yes, it's 5 civs and 40, um, when you're playing enough of those cards, hopefully you just see them on time. And the whole thing about mana or 5 civs is that you just hope you see your colors in mana. So
yeah, the high roll games happen like that. That's why it's a high roll. It still happens some of the time. So
that's why this deck
let's see
continues
if
to
this
just do
game
its
is.
thing.
I think like if there is no bronze arm on 3, the 5 Sif is really in trouble because it really needs to unlock all its mana
Yeah, I
really
am
quick.
seeing Ganta and Bronze Arm Tribe in my hands, so I'm feeling good about this match. Yeah,
Yeah, feels
very
good.
very happy. Yeah, Ganta's my boy, man. He knows where he needs to be and when he needs to be. Yeah, that Belix ain't gonna do much.
Yeah, it's all right, but like
Oh,
it's
you know what's
okay to
better than
Gantas.
Bronze Arm Tribe on 3? Second Ganta.
Yeah, especially into the Belix. So now the Belix doesn't really do anything. This
Yeah,
needs to be a bat, and I don't
no,
think I see a bronze arm.
I don't. I do see Spiral Gate in his hand, but I don't see blue mana. Um,
Yeah, I think. Oh, there is two spirals, so there is.
no, it looks like a light card, Spiral. Soul
No,
Swap, some sort of fire removal. That's the alternate art for Sky Sword in his hand and a Lost Soul.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So
That's really bad. Passing turn 3. I think Water Fire Nature should have this in the bag.
yeah, I he ends up
Okay,
not
not
playing
even
anything
charging
on
mana.
3. Yeah, my hand is Pyro Fighter and Spiral Gate. So much rather hold on to
Yeah, I
those
think
two
that.
cards.
Yeah, that's correct because if there's a loco, at least you keep one of them. So,
Yeah, and the one loco is in mana, so he ends up spiraling
yeah,
back 1, but I do have lethal in my hand minus a mana brick here.
yeah. Spiral Gate on 4 isn't the
Oh
like
Lord,
highest tempo play.
yeah, okay, so yeah, shout outs to me, right? I just gave up on the
Mm.
whole spiral pyro thing. Why go for lethal now when I can just guarantee it next turn? With a whole bunch of Gantas.
This opens up the Sky Sword possibility, but I think it's still fine because the Gontas can't be answered.
Because I got Bombat. Look at it.
Yeah,
There it is.
okay,
Yeah,
that feels much better.
yeah, that's how that's supposed to go.
Yeah, 5 if it doesn't have the bats, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. That's what my whole IDC run looks like. I don't know if
Mm.
anybody told you what I was running, but it was a 4 civ foul 4 boast control, 47 cards, and I haven't played a
Mm.
deck bigger than 40 in months. Xboom, and as soon as I did, I realized that's why we play 40 because you just see the Bronze Arm Tribe consistently, and
Yeah, although this 5 had 40 cards and didn't see the bat on 3.
it didn't. It did see its green mana though, and that was another thing I kept missing out on.
Yeah, but there was not even anything on third 3, like
Yeah,
not even
yeah,
a
that
spiral
was
gate
tough.
or anything. So that was like a losing game from the start.
Yeah,
The
very much.
Belix just was like looking
Yeah,
looking there at the Gontas and okay, I can't do anything. I'm
just
just
hanging,
hanging around.
just hanging
Yeah,
out.
just
Yeah, I
hanging.
just want to be part of the fun. Um,
Big ghost stats. Okay, that's
oh
at least
yeah,
something to do.
yeah.
Uh,
Snipes the earth stomp out of my hand. That's fun.
yeah, for
Um,
the 5 if it's just important to have stuff to do. So
yeah,
that's at least one resource off.
yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think the thing I like about 5 civ is it's basically it, and that's the thing, right? It gets to play all the cards. And that was the whole concept kind of going into it. And he sees Bronze Arm Tribe consistently, and
Okay,
there's his light
and
mana.
charge. Yeah, charging star Sky Sword. Okay, this feels like game 1.
Yeah. Minus the fact that I have momentum here. So minus him having a spell, Pig should be able to hang.
Mm, yeah, but if he doesn't, he must have something because he's already at 5 mana this turn, but
Because he always does X-Boom. That's the one
yeah.
thing about playing CVH. He just always has the thing you don't want him to.
And against Quixotic, it's like the one card like if
Oof,
you're okay,
oof.
that's
The hide and
very bad for
seeks.
you.
Yeah, the hide and seek. That card, uh, very low on the totem pole in terms of like high profile cards, but it just did some work there. I tell you what.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's fine. Fine
and
as a 5 shift card. Balances out the colors and
yeah,
did some work there.
yeah, absolutely. Not game breaking, not yet, but we're getting into those critical turns where he should have 2 shields and not 4. So
Yeah, yeah. The Aqua Hawkesses are keeping you in the game right now because they keep you cards in hand. But the 5 ship is in the lead right now, clearly.
yeah,
Okay.
going to 6. Yeah, Rebirth I think was my biggest fear there if he had it. Forbos is also very good. This deck really just gets to take off right when it's up against something that's quote unquote dirtling like fire, like my Water Fire Nature is right now. He's not really under pressure. You can just play cards like Forbos and set yourself up for cool things. He doesn't care if he loses a shield next turn. He gets to crack back and get the maybe the best card out of his deck.
Yeah, the aggro deck couldn't like pressure the 5 ship enough, and now the control deck is just doing like uh, too much stuff. Like the Forbos is really good. It contests the Hulkus, finds you anything you really want.
Yeah.
Maybe swap or Apoc.
Yeah, and the other
Anything really.
unfortunate thing is too, I'm going to 5 mana, so I'm not even at 6 yet. I can't threaten Jagalzor yet. Um,
Mm.
I would need to commit a lot to the board to do that. 2 drop Soulswap into Jagalzor, and that's 2 cards just to get him down to 3 shields. Which depending on what he grabs
Maybe
here answers.
Ancient Horn into Bronze Arm into swap. Maybe, maybe that's the line.
Oh man, that would be yeah. Talk about just the best cards to have in my hand all at once. Um,
Mm.
will I be that lucky? Will CVH ever finish stop searching his deck? Find out next on
Yeah.
Channel Earth Power. Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, we've discussed this turn for a while.
yeah, it's always like annoying and frustrating as the aggro deck. Like you're waiting there, like you will find the perfect answer. Just get it
yeah,
into your hand, get it over with.
I do get it to a degree though, right? Like
Yeah,
especially
of course, it's kind of.
he's got 1 card in his hand. You know, for lack of a better way of doing it, I've essentially starved him on cards since he keeps killing everything. So I the one thing I've got going for me here is that 5 Civ just doesn't have a ton of gas at the moment.
Yeah, it's because you haven't broken any shields. That's not necessarily good. Okay, Lost Soul. That's
All right,
interesting.
time to dump my hand turn. Which I get, depending on what the other card in his hand is, if he can force me to just ride out my board, if he does have, heyo,
Okay, Ancient Horn called it.
2 drop Ganta and Pyro. All right,
Yeah.
that turn's not bad. I'll take it. End up not
Okay, yeah.
swinging with Holkus there. Like I said,
Interesting.
that's
That shows you like the Lost Soul was kind of dangerous there because the Lost Soul doesn't feel really good here
not
because it only
anymore.
deals
Yeah,
with yeah, it only deals with the pyro. And forcing the aggro deck into dumping its hand is kind of fine for the aggro deck. It already wants to do that anyway.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah, he has the one of Miraculous Snare to deal with it, so it looks like he
Mm,
still had good answers, even for the board,
yeah.
as it were. I'm able to continue to dump creatures. He still has the
Mm,
Lost Soul in his hand.
yeah. But I feel like the
Ooh,
Lost Soul is
that's
like kind of useless here, but
yeah,
uh, the
that one.
memory hurts.
Yeah, that one feels bad. That's basically gonna let him go get the APOC now, unless it isn't shields. So, which might be the reason why he didn't grab it last time.
Yeah, that's true. But he also might have gotten it from the other shield now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Crystal Memory always feels bad to swing into when you just don't have momentum on your side. Um,
Mm.
so we're gonna get to watch CVH search his deck for another 20 minutes. Hope he watches this back and hears us giving him crap for it. So
Yeah.
Which again, I agree. Take all the time you need, man. If you're the one who's gonna try to win this match, take all the time you need. I get it.
Yeah, with memory, there's even more options. It's all the options. Like you
And
can
he
get
doesn't.
anything.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to show me.
Yeah.
CBH will say it
Yes.
because I say it every time to him when he's anytime anyone plays Crystal Memory on me, the minute they put the card in their hand, the first question I always ask if we're playing live, which is super BM. Like I shouldn't be doing this because it's not fair. But every time they put the card in their hand, I'm like, "What'd you get?"
Yeah, angle shooting. That's what we call it.
Yeah, yeah, super, super rude. But if it's
It's allowed. You can ask, and they
yeah,
don't have to tell.
it's their fault if they tell me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, here we are. Here we are. I mean, it's
I think I've
definitely
done that lots of times, like with searching memory something, and I show the card to the opponent in real life games because I just forget, like I didn't have to show it.
yeah. I'm interested here. I mean, obviously, like Meltdown won a game last in game one, and even though I don't know that it was necessary, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it, like he was already
Mm.
very ahead. He was dealing with the board, as it were. But I'm wondering, like, depending on what his hand looks like here, and depending on this board pressure as it stands, like Lost Soul doesn't feel great next turn, and depending on the other two cards in his hand, like Meltdown
How many
could be
cards does
another
he have?
option. I think
There's the
two.
Lost Soul.
I think two.
Okay, so one is Lost Soul and other is something else.
Whatever I just gave him in that first shield with the
Yeah.
Ganta break, yeah. Because Forbus is going to be able to swing into Ganta, so that's an even trade. I'll end up with Holkus and Bronze Arm Tribe on board. If he can deal with the Pyro in hand with either the Lost Soul or something else, I mean, it's tough.
And
Like,
Meltdown is a possibility, but I think it's much safer. Like if there isn't the APOC, you could go for a Soul Swap or even a Sky Sword.
yeah, Soulswap's
Those.
good. I think. I mean, there's a ton of cards that deal with the board. Obviously, I think one of
Mm.
the main ones is Searing Wave. Deals with both at the cost of a shield, depending on what the rest of the Soul Swap slash because one Soul Swap is in mana, and so is one of the other Sky Swords. So
Yeah.
um, there's a ton of basically. I mean, the whole deck, right? He has every civ at his disposal. You could grab anything, and
Because I think problem with the Meltdown is because you're gonna have to trade the four bows into the Gonta. So
yeah,
you only have one attacker, so even one trigger would like be GG. So I don't think Meltdown is the
yeah.
answer at the moment. It might be later, but I don't think that's
Yeah,
what you look for
now
now.
could be a good swinging with the Hulkus because he has to. I say has to, doesn't have to. But if he wants to take trades, he's taking even trades across the board. So breaking the other shield here
Mm.
isn't necessarily a bad thing. Um, yeah, two cards in hand. He didn't show the camera what he got off memory, which is super rude. Um,
Yeah, rude. We can't even criticize his
yeah.
choice.
So Lost Soul finally gets mana two
Yeah,
turns
I
later.
think this is the point I was making earlier. Like the Lost Soul felt kind of bad to get because not
Yeah.
even needing it. So
Rebirth.
but
Um,
that feels
Rebirth
good.
is Rebirth's probably what he got there off memory. I'd venture to
Yeah,
say. He had Blizzard and
removing something and getting a blocker, and also getting the swap into hand. So
yeah, Bronze Arm Tribe ended up hitting Blizzard into his mana zone, which probably doesn't feel great. It's probably a nice
mm,
card just to have in the wings, but
I don't think
here we
that's
are.
necessary anymore because CVH has the bigger field, so Blizzard
Yeah,
doesn't feel that good.
yeah. Pyro's going to attempt to take this last shield, force him to block with the Belix now.
Mm.
Um, I'd venture to say that if he blocks with Belix, I should just swing with the Bronze Arm Tribe, but I'm interested to see kind of where my head was at in game. It's always weird criticizing myself months after I play a game if I was in the correct headspace as I feel like I am here in the booth.
I feel like you should block this probably because the bronze arm can't really, if it attacks, it can be swung into,
Well, like
and
his
the
only
hand.
yeah, I mean, well, his only answers to it too. Like he just got rid of the Lost Soul.
Yeah, so
The
you should
uh,
really block this.
Yeah, Ghost Touch and Loco are the only answers to it otherwise, and if he doesn't want to commit the mana to it, like just deal with it while
Yeah.
it's on board. And yeah, I turn the Bronze Arm Trap sideways and break the last shield. So all he's got to do is deal with a Ganta, and I'm back in top deck mode.
There's there's the meltdown possibility because there's 3 attackers, so
Yeah,
meltdown starts to feel really good
yeah, and I do
right
see
now.
it in his hand. He's got APOC, Meltdown, I think a Soul Swap, and
There
two.
would be mana for Pyro also, but I don't think there's a Pyro in hand.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's no Pyro even in the deck, so it would be hard to be in hand.
He might have to. I think we're. I don't know what we're talking about here. Mana choices, maybe. Um, I know he's got APOC, Meltdown, Soul Swap in his hand. I don't know what the other two cards are. He's put something face down, which means it's either going to be his mana play or not. So.
I think if it's just APOC, I think it would be better to meltdown because you could top deck a speed attacker.
Yeah,
There should be at least. Is there one Pyro left? And
I,
there's the Usazol
I think so. Pyro and Uses
and
are the
Wombat.
last two, and the fake
Yeah.
Bombat. All
So
right.
having 3 triggers feels less likely than top decking that, but okay. There's the
Okay, yeah. Soul Swap into Thrash.
this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feels
Mm.
bad to bounce back Thrash Crawler there, but I think it has to happen. If I can force him to play it one more time, yes, he's going to be able to deal with board.
Mm.
But if he can't deal with Surfer, and again, I don't know that he has APOC in hand. So the idea being is that like, if he can't deal with Surfer, I can just hopefully top deck another form of removal if Thrash Caller is the card.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think
Thra-
it's
Thrash into Belix
correct
feels bad.
because the meltdown is even more like. I think this is the time to meltdown because one of the shields is whatever was put there by Miraculous now, but I guess
Yeah,
we can still take safe turns.
yeah. I
I
feel
feel like
like
meltdown is really safe there.
so we're having a conversation here because the realization, yes, because he can go Thrash into Belix into Volcano Charger.
Okay, yeah.
Or no, he just hard commits to the meltdown. Holy crap.
Yeah, because I feel like the meltdown is super safe. You have 4 attackers. You would need. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not enough triggers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, he just commits to the meltdown. That's super anticlimactic. All right, there we are.
yeah, yeah. 4 triggers is so unlikely in the water fire
Oh
nature.
goodness. Well, my video is all jazzed up here in the booth, but yeah, guys. Yeah, that's it. Oh my goodness. 5 Civ ends up continuing its rampage in top 16. And yeah, for better or for worse, it beat our hero, Water, Fire, Nature, Tempo. Sorry about it, X-Boom.
Yeah, it's the one game it lost was like it took a beating, but the other 2 games it hit the bronze arm at turn 3 into a sky sword. So like kind of
Yeah,
two different sides of the coin. And
absolutely.
once it gets going, it's really hard to stop because the deck has like all the answers I'm putting to it because it's running all the shifts. So
Yeah. So to save you guys from having to stare at my busted webcam for the next couple of minutes, we will outro. Guys, thanks so much for watching. X-Boom, thank you for joining me in the booth yet again for another awesome match. Top 16 is live, guys. Stay tuned in the next couple of days. We will be running Lightwater Dark Nature Mana Burn versus Lightwater Alzonius. That'll be coming at you here in the next few days. And yeah, otherwise, let us know what you think of the match below. And until next time, guys. Peach.
pitch.